And we are live, Newsday Tuesday. Your host Rome, the Rome Show podcast news updates with my friend Len. Len, how you doing?
I'm doing well. This is probably the least amount of layers I've had on for one of your podcasts in months,
Yeah,
and it
it's
feels
hot today.
good. Let's bring it. I'm going to be golfing indoor 2 more times. That indoor season is winding down, but then I may golf outdoors in the morning. The NBC Connecticut group, they're itching. So pretty soon I'm getting you out there, Rome.
Yeah, I got to get going.
Just go in the backyard right now. Just start chipping a little bit. Just take your pitching wedge. Just get out there and just do a little bit. But whatever you do, no matter what you do, get outside and enjoy this amazing weather we're having. It's just, I've been outside already. I'm going to have to go quick today because my dogs are making my wife and I crazy. They love chasing critters. They think they're making us happy, but they get under the deck and then they run out in the neighborhood. So we've got it all chicken wired, so they can't get under there. But my one dog, Tico, has decided he's going to dig. And so he gets in there, and then they're really dirty, and then we got to give them baths. That's after
Oh no.
chasing them through the neighborhood. Yeah. So I'm going to have to go do some staple gun work when I hop off today. The rites of spring, as we call it, but I think I got some goodwill in the bank. I think I worked like 9.5 hours yesterday. So if I come in a little late today, I think the boss will be forgiving, or maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. But
Hope,
either way, the
hope.
weather's great. Rome,
Yes.
we've earned it. We've earned it. I think it's supposed to get up to 80 today, 84 tomorrow, and 84 the day after that. I think in all these days we may have a little bit of rain. This is, one of these freaky fronts, I believe, from the south. And so, you get the hot air and the cold air together and you get a few thunderstorms. I even think our storm tracker weather team at NBC Connecticut said we could be getting possibly a few freak little hailstones in there. So stay tuned. We'll see.
Nice.
But
Nice
you're
winter weather.
smiling. I'm smiling. We are happy about this weather.
Oh yeah.
hmm This is one of the
It's like a
toughest winters we had in a
yeah.
while. Yeah. Mm,
But careful
mm.
because the flu's going around. It's still flu season.
Oh, golly. Yeah, my flu shot's probably out of registration at this point. I think I got it in like November. Never got the COVID shot. So, I'm one of those, I'm 50-50 on it. I think I'm not one of these that's going to go crazy about it and say I'm not going to get it, but I'm not going to go crazy to get it. So, whatever. Not that you asked. But let's get to the fun stuff. I don't want to talk about COVID shots.
Yeah. Let's get to the fun
Food,
stuff.
yeah, food, entertainment, or sports. I'll let you spin the wheel, Rome. What do you want to go with first?
All right, so I'll start with my food dish and keep it simple, classic. A nice pot of white rice with chicken and veggies. Then you
Okay,
throw
I'm
like
down there, but what's the
yeah,
spice?
put like a sauce, like a barbecue sauce, or like a sriracha hot sauce on
There
top
you
of it.
go. Okay,
Good to go.
there you go. Now you're talking. All right, for me, I'm sort of on the same theme. I'm classic for Connecticut pizza. Boring, boring,
Good.
boring. But two things. One, I go to this place in South Windsor called Sal's. It's famous for the red peppers, the roasted red peppers they put on that pizza. If you haven't tried it, you should. These are sweeter peppers. They're not, sharp or anything. Although I recommend jalapenos on a pizza. That's quite good. But um, roasted red pepper on a pizza is just, it's awesome. And when you're talking about pizza, I like them all. I like the thin crust. I like the thick crust. Chicago style deep dish, Sicilian. I'll have them all. I've even had pizza in the Vatican. I will argue that's the best pizza I ever had in my life. The mozzarella and the sauce was so fresh, and it was wild. You ordered it by the centigram, I think. It was some metric thing. and they took like a roller on it and just they would make you they cut a square, they put it on a scale to weigh it, and then they gave it to you. It was bizarre. Very different than America, but better. And I'll say this on pizza, okay? We go back and forth with this Connecticut pizza versus the rest of the world. Connecticut's pizza is outstanding. There is no question. The variety you can get here, and literally every town in the state, you can get pizza. However, I grew up right outside New York City. Okay. I grew up in New Jersey. Most of my family is from the New York area. They all live in New England now, but they're all from the New York area. I have a lot of family out on Long Island, and I can tell you that whole New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, the pizza's great everywhere. I would say the one thing that is unique about Connecticut is the whole New Haven style. So if you're down with that, that is somewhat more unique. But in the Jers and in Westchester or Long Island, the pizza's pretty rocking there too, I gotta say. So
Yeah.
just want that out there, bro.
Yeah. Pizza. Got it. Pizza's great. I like the thick pizza though. It's my favorite.
That's what I grew up doing. And then, I had a girlfriend in college, and now my wife. Both love the thin crust. And I got to admit, I am a convert. If you get good thin crust, it's ridiculous. And I mean, really, New Haven is almost thin crust. It's, and my wife doesn't like New Haven because she said it's too burnt on the bottom. I like that taste, but a lot of people don't. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Want to do movie of the week? I got an old one.
Yeah.
It's called The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Okay, I think I know that one.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah. It's like a futuristic movie. Puts a mask on. He could turn into anything. Go super fast. Like a futuristic movie. It's pretty good though.
All right. I didn't do an entertainment like TV show this week. I'll admit it. Sorry, I'm just signing back in here. I did entertainment, and it's unique. My entertainment this week, crazy entertainment. Okay. You've probably heard of this, but it's not that common yet. So my friend had a very big birthday, my college buddy. And so my wife and I went up to Metro Boston to celebrate on Saturday. And he had an Irish bar, a mobile Irish bar, towed and dropped in his driveway. And it holds like 20 people. And you're pouring Guinness, you're pouring Yingling beer. And they had like a buffet outside and all that kind of stuff. But wow, that was interesting. Now, my fellow NBC colleague, Mike Heideck, he had a neighborhood party a few years ago where I helped him get a band there. But beyond that, one of the features they had in the block party was they had a whole bar that was brought out in the middle of the cul-de-sac. And, you could get sodas too. But what a concept. That was fun. It was a lot of fun sitting, and, they're playing Irish music. And I mean, the bar, it felt, it had all the Irish kind of, trimmings and decorations and all that stuff. So that's something you can do for a party. Have you ever thought of something like that, Rome? Ever even heard of it?
No, but now you gave me the idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's I'm a full service reporter here, Rome. I'm not just getting you news. I'm getting you entertainment news.
Yeah, that sounds real fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what about sports?
Well, for me, I got to tell you that there is a bit of a good segue here, as we like to say in the entertainment business. We'll go from Irish pubs to rugby. So I'm going to this party for this friend of mine, and he also happened to be my rugby teammate in college. I played rugby for 3 seasons, and I loved it. Definitely have some injuries to show for it. And one of the things I got my friend for his big birthday was our team jersey. Because his jersey was about 40 years old and probably he lost it or something. My daughter stole mine, so I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in Boston or Connecticut somewhere. I don't know. But rugby, it's a great sport. Uh, it's you don't wear pads. It's not like football. So it's a different kind of tackling. You can see it on TV like ESPN, the Ocho, or some of those alt sports channels will carry it. I played the position called fullback, which was pretty unique. You ran with the ball sometimes, but you were also the punter. And I'll leave it at that. What's your big sport?
Well, the WNBA Draft kickoff, I think it was yesterday or the
Mm-hmm.
day before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they holded the number one pick in Toronto. Temple selected UCLA star Kiki Rice at the number 6 pick in 2026 draft.
And AZ Fudd from UConn got drafted, didn't she?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
another big one too.
Did she go to Dallas? I can't remember if she's going with Paige Beckers or not, but I know she got drafted like number 1 or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure where she's going though.
Hold on. I have the internet right here at my fingertips. We'll check this out. Let's see. We'll get you breaking news on Tuesday Newsday. Let's see what it says. Give me some AZ Fudd news. Oh, wait, here we go. It's on the NBC Connecticut website, in case you want to know. The picks are in. See every selection from the 2026 WNBA Draft. Yep, they picked AZ Fudd, and now she joins her teammate, Paige Beckers, in Dallas. Is I think how that's going to work. Yep, that's going to be. Imagine when Dallas comes to play the Connecticut Sun this year. I can't tell you how many fans you're going to have at Connecticut Sun games. Hopefully they show up. NBC Connecticut is one of the partners of the Sun's final season. So I'm sure we're going to be giving you lots of interesting kind of events connected to that and interesting stories and coverage. But wow, think about that. When the Dallas, I think they're called the Stars, maybe? I'm not sure. But when the Dallas team with AZ Fudd and Paige Beckers comes to play the Sun this year, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I gotta
That'll
go
be a
catch
game to
that.
go see. Yeah, I think that's going to be a hot ticket, Rome. That and then what's the other one? The famous player from Indiana. She was hurt. Should be back though. Well, whatever. But I mean, a lot of cool games this season with the Sun coming up, and NBC Connecticut will be telling you all about it. All right. So I did my sport. What about you? Or you did yours. That's right. You did WNBA. Yeah. Okay. That's
Yes.
right. And then we got it. I'm a little distracted today, Rome. Not going to lie. I got to go seal up my yard from the dogs. Not news today. It's pet news. Yes. Sorry about all that. But we do have news. I would say, let me see the mix here. Now we got a fun one ended. How about that? But let's get through some of the news here. We got some big news out in Waterbury. Folks are devastated. The family of an 80-year-old woman learned that she had died. She was stabbed to death. The word is from police that 48-year-old Noel Sepulveda murdered his mother, Anna Celia Sepulveda. This is last week. And again, these are allegations by Waterbury police. Officers responded to an apartment on Abbott Terrace for what was originally reported as a medical assist. When they arrived, they found Noel Sepulveda on the floor. He appeared to be under the influence of drugs. So a terrible story out there in Waterbury. Some folks are dealing with that out there. Interesting news, closing of a chapter here in Connecticut. You may recall NBC Connecticut has done a number of stories about the Whiting Forensic Treatment Center in Middletown. That's the state's only maximum security facility for psychiatric patients. And a lot of times, when you have death by reason of insanity, for lack of a better term, those people that are charged, not death by murder by insanity or charged with something by insanity. Essentially, anybody who gets charged with some kind of a mental defect charge, they become in the custody of the state, and they're kept at the Whiting Forensic Facility or one of the step-down facilities that they have in Middletown. And what happened yesterday is there was word that the state is close to settling a lawsuit by patients at the Whiting Forensic Hospital in Middletown who say the state is stalling their treatment. The settlement approved Monday by the legislature's Appropriations Committee would require an estimated $2.5 million annually to bolster staffing at the state-run residential program. Supporters said the agreement is needed to ensure people can continue their treatment after being found not guilty of a crime by reason of mental illness or defect. So not guilty, but not guilty by reason of insanity. So fix that on the edit, Rome. Sorry about that. I'm only like a cup of coffee in here, so cut me some slack. The Appropriations Committee had not concluded its meeting as of 5 o'clock on Monday, but the Connecticut House and Senate resolutions for the settlement appeared to have the votes needed to advance to the full legislature. The 2022 lawsuits, so this was all from a lawsuit in 2022. It said that 150 people had been admitted to the Whiting Maximum Security Facility after non-guilty verdicts, and of those, 100 had been transferred to a step-down facility, Dutcher Hall. But the problem was the patients were saying they weren't getting the treatment or the treatment was taking too long. And I can tell you from our coverage at Whiting that there's no question. And I think the folks at the state agency that oversees Whiting will tell you they need more people there, that they're understaffed. So hopefully this settlement can help out. And again, not guilty by reason of mental defect. Thank you. Let's end with a fun story. In the galaxy of potential baby names to choose for your little one, some new choices are sort of moving up to the front. It all has to do with that big space mission. Did you see Artemis, Rome?
I didn't catch
You
it.
didn't, not takeoff, not landing, not nothing. You're just the hardest
Just the
working man in
takeoff.
show business. Okay, you did see the takeoff. Good. So that was pretty glorious, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sight to see. It was. So what's going on now is astronaut parents are dominating the news in terms of, there's all these astronauts that are parents, and now I guess they're naming some of their kids names that everybody else is picking up. So like one of the astronauts, Victor Glover, has a daughter named Maya, and now that name is a big baby name. And Reed Weissman's wife, Carol, he named a moon crater after her. So this is another hot name, I guess, now. Carol, which I remember, my gosh, from when I was a kid. Emily, the 100th woman in space, Emily Calandarelli, gave birth to her second child last week. And Kelly Girardi announced the birth of her second daughter. So I guess former astronauts are having babies. Other people are naming their babies after astronauts. So it's just, there's all kinds of astronaut stuff going on when it comes to baby names these days. And now here's the last one that'll get you. So this one astronaut, she named her newborn Maxine, or Max Q for short. Max Q is a space-inspired meaning because Max Q refers to the point in a rocket's ascent when the pressure from the surrounding air is at its highest, a brief but very critical phase of the flight, according to something called the Space Techie. And if you think I know what I'm talking about there, I don't. But astronomy is cool. And if baby names are named after our brave astronauts, I think that's great. So that's what I got today, Rome. I've got to go seal the yard for my dogs so my neighbors aren't chasing them.
Yeah, gotta get that done.
Yeah. So have a good week, man. I'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thank you.
All right. Take care, Rome.
Take care. And that is it with today's news updates. And that's your updates on the Rome Show podcast. I'm your host, Rome. And make sure to tap in, streaming 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all podcast platforms. You can stream news updates wherever you are, anytime. It's your boy Gold Rome, and I'm out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Peace.